Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out a laptop backpack from Ecohub, which is not only budget friendly, but also comes in at a size that allows it to work as a personal item on international airlines. Last year I did a couple of videos where I shared some of my favorite personal item bags when I'm traveling internationally. I got a lot of questions and feedback on that one based on the dimensions of many of the bags that I included in that list, as they were over the listed dimensions on airlines like Ryanair and EasyJet, which are airlines that I've actually flown quite a bit, and I haven't had any issues with the bags that I included in those lists. But I did also want to share some options that were a little bit safer if you're really wanting to stick to the limits that are set by the airlines. I know that they continue to get stricter year after year, and so this was an option that was called out a couple of times in the comments, and it seemed like a really versatile bag. I was actually impressed as I started to kind of look into the feature set. And so I went ahead and picked this up from Amazon. I've had a chance to test it out over the past few weeks, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the bag to me has a pretty standard kind of tech backpack look. It's a little bit on the functional side with the compression straps, the handles, but not overwhelmingly so. It's not the most minimal or sleek bag, but it does feel pretty versatile. It's going to work well for its intended use case of traveling, and it's also going to be something that I could see myself just using for exploring the city or even taking into the office. As far as the materials, the bag feels pretty solidly built for its price point. This is always one of the trickiest aspects with bags in this price range, is that you're making some trade-offs as far as the quality and the durability. Now, the fabric that's used here is a pretty nice feeling kind of recycled polyester fabric, but it's not going to be as durable as many of the fabrics that I talk about in the bags that are $100 and over. So nothing like your ballistic nylon, Cordura fabrics, or anything like that, which, you know, will work fine. I've had many bags with these types of fabrics over the years, and, you know, they work well initially, and, you know, they can hold up depending on your use case. So if you're traveling a lot with a bag like this, loading it out with a ton of weight, carrying your laptop and other heavy items, you know, that's something where I would start to be a little bit worried over the longer term about how it would hold up. I have had bags like this that have started to develop holes, they've torn, but haven't had any issues with this one as of yet. And then, you know, you do have some really nice feeling buckles and SBS zippers that have worked very smoothly. I've had other bags with SBS zippers in the past and haven't run into any issues. And so although this isn't going to be the most durable bag, you know, you get what you pay for with the price point, and as long as you go in with both eyes open, then, you know, you'll probably have a pretty decent experience. And then continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you do have an external water bottle pocket that offers a pretty good amount of space, especially for a smaller bag. The elasticity that's provided here was able to handle my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler pretty comfortably. It's got a decent amount of depth, and then when the compartment isn't in use, it hugs the back nicely. You have compression straps on both sides, which is great to see. They have buckles that you can fully release, so you can attach additional items if you want to. You can compress the bag down when it's not as full, so great to have that additional flexibility. And then you have a handle at the top and at the side, and these are well implemented. You have a nice amount of padding here, it's breathable, and so these handles have been great to use when I'm picking the bag up or if I'm carrying it by the side like a briefcase. And the bag also manages to stand up pretty well on its own, especially when it's more loaded out. It's got a pretty wide flat bottom, so I've been able to place this down next to me and easily use all of the compartments when I needed to. And then moving into the capacity, the bag is offered in two different sizes. Here I have the smaller 20-liter size, which I went with because it felt like its dimensions would be more compliant with stricter international airlines. So it's a little smaller than what I would typically like to use, but it can still hold a good amount at 20 liters. And I like that the overall footprint feels pretty compact. It does get a little bit deeper, especially when you fill out the exterior compartments, but in general, this is, you know, a pretty, you know, compact bag that feels like it's going to work well for a variety of domestic and international airlines and allow you to slide it under the seat in front of you while also working well for exploring a city or jumping onto public transit. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. This is another area where, of course, you'll start to see some of the trade-offs that come in to get the bag to this price point, but in general, you still have good amount of padding here. I like that you have a breathable mesh on the inside. The width of the strap feels a little bit narrow, but you know, this is a fairly small bag, so I can kind of understand that, but I do wish that they had been a little bit wider. And then you don't have a sternum strap included with the bag or the ability to add one. You do have a pretty interesting system here where you can snap on the bottom of the straps so that they're not floating around. This didn't work as well for me because I had to loosen these quite a bit to be able to fit the bag since it's a little smaller. So when it's expanded out, it's a little hard to get those up there. But if you wear the bag really tight, or if you just want to keep things a little neater, if you're not actually going to be wearing it on your back, it can be a pretty interesting feature. And then on the back, similar type of padding to what we saw on the straps. Nice amount of breathability, not a ton of airflow here, but still, again, pretty good for the price point. And you also have a luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a nice variety of pockets all throughout. Starting off on the front, you have a zippered quick access pocket. That's going to be a great spot to place something like a power bank, which is what I have here, because there's actually a pass-through here on the front that you can pair with a cable if you want to charge your phone with that functionality. And no other organization provided here, but just a nice simple spot to toss in some of those smaller items that you're grabbing regularly. And then behind that, you have a larger admin area that has some built-in organization. I like these type of pockets when they have some volume so that they can hold something slightly bulkier like my sunglasses with their case. I also have a USB-C cable there and my Tom Bin Ghost Whale pouch. On the back, you have a couple of slots that are going to be great for something like a mouse, portable hard drive, your phone, a couple of slots for a pen or a stylus. And then above that, you have another quick access pocket that's a little taller. This one goes all the way to the bottom of the bag, so it's going to be great for folders, notebooks. That's what I have here, a moleskin notebook. It can also be a great spot for a tablet if you want to slide it in there. And then at the top of the bag, you have an additional quick access pocket. So this bag really checking off all the boxes as far as the pockets that I like to see on a bag. So great to have this so that you can easily reach your headphones, a charging cable. I have a USB-C cable in here. This is where I would also put my AirPods. And so no soft lining or anything here, but decent amount of space. And then on the back, you have a dedicated laptop compartment. I really like the orientation here that matches up with the luggage pass-through, which again, these are the things that I look for in a personal item bag. I can place this on my suitcase, easily access my laptop, and you do have a Velcro strap here to keep your device in place, as well as the padded laptop sleeve that does a pretty good job for the price of the bag. You have the padded sleeve, which is a little bit more rigid than a standard slip pocket, which I was happy to see. You also have a little bit of a gap at the bottom. It's pulled up. Now, the structure of this bag isn't super rigid, so if it's completely empty, there's still a chance that you might feel your laptop hitting the bottom. But right now, when I place it in here, it's actually doing a pretty good job of maintaining that gap. And so for the 20-liter size of this bag, I have a 14-inch MacBook Pro in here. You can see there's a little bit of leftover space, so I think you could get a 15-inch laptop in here, but it would probably be pretty tight. And then taking my laptop out, you can get a better look at the inside. No fleece lining here, no additional tablet sleeve. You do have a couple of extra mesh slip pockets that'll be great for maybe the charging cables for your laptop. I didn't place anything here at the moment, but great to see that you do have those two options there. And then moving into the main compartment, you do have a suitcase style opening, which is nice given the travel focused nature of the bag. And you don't have kind of a traditional locking zipper here. The zipper pulls do have an opening that would allow you to maybe secure them with a couple of different types of locks. And then it opens up like your traditional suitcase. So as I was saying, you do have to release the compression straps on one side so that you can fully open it. And then you have the main area, which is a pretty simple open space, which I always like to see for these style of bags. Works well with my modular setup. And so I have a couple of pouches and items here. I have my Beat Studio headphones, packable rain jacket, and then behind those I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch half liter, the Lockbeat pouch that I've been featuring in a lot of videos, and then I have the Civic Access pouch 2 liters. So now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. One thing to note is that you do have the quick access pocket that pokes in, so if you fill this out all the way, it is going to take up some space in the main area. Beyond that, you also have this elastic compression strap that you can use to secure your clothing or other items if you want to use it as your travel bag. And that's one thing that this does pretty well. It is a great minimal travel bag layout, particularly if you're trying to travel with just one bag that you can place under your seat. This is the type of layout that I like to see. It is a little bit narrow. I was able to place my packing cubes in here, but it was a little tighter than some of the other 20-liter bags that I've used, just given the width of the bag. So it can work, and you can adjust your packing style or the types of cubes that you use to make it fit, but it's just something that you'll want to keep in mind if you're going with this smaller size here. But still, simple layout, always feels like it allows you to hold more than the size would show. And then on the lid, you have a couple of additional zippered pockets. I don't always use these. This one on the back goes all the way down to the bottom here, so a little taller, and it's behind the mesh compartment, so it might be a good place to put something more sensitive if you have some documentation, some extra cash. And then you have, of course, the mesh one here, which might be good for toiletries or other tech items that you want to have accessible when you open the bag up. So really nice layout in this main area, and I really like how everything was thought out throughout the rest of the bag. Even though this is a more budget-friendly option, it feels like it really tries to offer a lot of value for its price point. I really love the organizational options that were provided. I think that it's a pretty cool looking bag. It's nice that it's offered in 2 different sizes. And if you're in the market for a personal item bag that's gonna work well on some of the stricter airlines and you're on a little bit of a tighter budget, then this is gonna be an excellent option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty good experience testing out the Ecohub backpack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on Amazon for about $40, which to me feels like a pretty incredible value considering the features that the bag has to offer. Now, of course, there are some trade-offs as far as the materials for a bag at that price point, but if you're trying to be a little bit more budget conscious, looking for something that comes in at under $50, then this one is definitely gonna fit that bill. Now, as far as some of the alternatives that I might recommend taking a look at, it's gonna be tough to find something that is quite as competitive as far as the pricing that this one has. One of the first options that came in mind to me was the Osprey Daylight 26+6 expandable backpack, which comes in at about $100, so still quite a bit more expensive than this one, but it was one of the more budget-friendly options that I looked at last year that addresses some of the concerns that I would have with the quality of this one here, while still offering a similar level of versatility as far as its size. So it's got a comfortable harness system, a little bit of a sturdier build quality, really nice organizational layout. It has the suitcase style opening, the ability to expand and compress, and it's just a really capable bag. Even when it's compressed down, it's a pretty compact looking bag, so something that could probably pass as a personal item on pretty much any airline. And so really enjoyed using that one. It also had the dual external water bottle pockets, luggage pass-through. So if you have a little bit of a higher budget and you're looking for something very versatile, that's gonna be an excellent option to consider. And then if you have a little bit of a higher budget, some of the options that I would take a look at are the Evergood CTB20, which, as I've talked about for many years now, the CTB line has one of my favorite organizational layouts. And when the CTB20 was announced, it really just kind of hit the sweet spot for a very EDC and personal item friendly size, particularly on the height. It's not as tall as many of the popular EDC bags that are on the market. And then it also has some of the nice features that are great for a travel bag, like a luggage pass-through. It's got the dual external water bottle pockets, clamshell style opening, really nice kind of quick access pockets, great build quality. That one does come in at over $200, so definitely different price point there. Another option that I really like that has a very personal item friendly size is the Manal Daily 3.0. Very solid build quality on that one. Clamshell style opening, super simple layout, but that's what allows it to hold a surprising amount without looking like a big bag. That also has one of the best laptop compartments of any bag that I've used. You can hide the straps away, use it as a shoulder bag, a briefcase, and it's also got a very flexible layout, so it'll really be able to squeeze into some tighter spaces. So those will be some good options to consider. I'll also include links below to the personal item roundup videos that I did last year if you want to check them out. And if you have any other options that you think would be a good fit as far as personal item bags or budget-friendly bags, definitely let me know in the comments below. And as always, I want to thank you for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.